Welcome back, everybody. We are off to the races here at the Utah State Fair, but you might see some animals hit this track behind us that you're not used to. Pigs, goats, even dogs. I'm with Greg Woody. He's here from Woody's Barnyard Racers. Welcome to Good Things, Utah.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Glad to be out here.
All right, Karen's behind us, your wife.
Boss. No, she owns the whole operation. I'm her slave.
I think that's the right thing to say.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing, my friend.
I mean, I just do whatever I get told to do most of the time.
Where are you from?
We live in Illinois. We're an hour from east of St. Louis.
And Greg, you travel all over the country to show off your animals, right?
The last fair I was at was week before last. It's 2,265 miles from the last fair I was at. That was a scheduling conflict on our part. In all honesty, we got notified that Utah State Fair wanted us out here this week, and we already scheduled the other stuff, and so we just went ahead and said, yeah, we'll do it.
What's happening behind us, Greg?
The pigs are running around the track. They're tearing it up. They're getting used to things. We usually run them around a few times before the shows and getting ready to run around the track. Those are Coon pigs, which is a heritage breed of pig that is more of a vegetation-eating pig rather than a grain-eating pig. So they grow slower. So they work good for us to use the race because we go full season with one set of pigs.
And Greg, how do you prepare the pigs for the race? Do they lean up? Do they fatten up? Tell me who's the fastest.
Well, you notice I'm fat, so we keep them lean. And the thing is, the pigs, we have a new deal starting here at the Utah State Fair, be exclusive for this year. We are actually going to have them racing here for the pumpkin Oreos. It's a new deal for them this year. So it's pumpkin season coming on, and so we just figured Utah State Fair was a great place to switch to the pumpkin Oreos. They've been racing for other treats, but now this one they're going to go for pumpkin Oreos.
Go bananas over that. Yeah, they'll go
pumpkins over that, Saray. They'll go pumpkins. So wait, those are at the end? Like you put the treat at the end?
At the end. Yes,
and do you show it to them and you're like, here it is, and I'm going to put, how does it work?
I whisper it, or have her whisper it in her ear. But, it works pretty good. They learn different things, and as I say, and they're creatures of habit, and they have a good time doing what they do.
Okay, what's she doing right now? Loading them back in?
Loading them back in. She would really like to race them around the track 2 or 3 times before shows to get them used to things, different place. Like here, we're proud to be sitting here at the hub of the fair, right next to the Ferris wheel. Well, it's something different, so they got to run a time or two to realize that the Ferris wheel is not going to fall over on top of them. It's a great place to be here, and, that pigs realize that it's 100% safe and have a great time at the Utah State Fair.
And Greg, they have to warm up, so they got to go around a few times, right? Is there one pig that's faster all the time, like wins the race?
I have learned one thing for certain doing animal shows. Nothing is for certain. About the time you think you have it figured out, one improves, you have no idea what you're doing.
You've done this how many years?
Pig races 9, animal shows 40.
40 animal shows. Okay, 40 years of animal shows. What other animals will you see racing? Are they going?
They're kind of...
Wait, Greg, no one's running. What's happening?
They held up. See, we were down here on the end of the track. They held up. Do they what?
Do they fight sometimes?
No, they're like brotherly sister sprawls every once in a while. They don't do too bad that apart.
I want to pet one.
Well, they're not quite that tame, because the worst trouble is they get quite that tame. They want to stop all the way around the track and want everybody to pet them. They don't do their job.
And this is true. I didn't think of that.
All right, some other animals, the wiener dog and goats.
We had to quit the wiener dogs. I have to bring you up to date on that. We travel all over the United States with the regulations changing. You have all kinds of people who have great hearts, but they just don't think things through. And some of the states we've been into, it's illegal to have a dog above 95 degrees for more than 5 minutes. That sounds great till you think through and realize what 95 degrees is and what 5 minutes is. And, as I say, because the thing about doing what I do, contrary to popular belief, if I don't keep my animals healthy and happy, it don't work. And so we have to do extra things to make sure they're happy and healthy. And, the trailer they're in, it's 100% fan. We don't environment control, but we keep them under fans. And, it's just like out here, you get a 100-degree day. Air conditioning's nice, but if you're in a fan and a breezy, it's just as comfortable as if you're in air conditioning. It's just what everybody gets adapted to.
So we've got the pigs. What else?
We also do goats. That's the big hit, the goats.
Do goats like to run?
It depends on what time and what day of the week it is. Again, as I stated earlier, I don't let nothing surprise me. About the time I get it figured out, I get a surprise.
You might jump to the end, right? To the finish line?
They usually do some jumping to the finish line, and not to brag, but the goats, I've got that going pretty good.
Oh,
Greg,
really?
How popular is this? I can see this being the highlight.
There they go. Wait, Saray, there they go.
Oh, wait, there they go.
They're headed down the track. Oh, and someone is definitely out in front. Who is that, Greg?
That's Arnold Schwarzenegger, but he usually vapor locks before he gets to the end and then lets somebody else win the race.
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah. If you think that's bad, come and watch the show. It gets worse.
I bet families and kids love this so much.
We did a fair, the last fair we did, the attendance for the fair was about the same as Utah State Fair is per day. and we had 4 sets of bleachers, and if you were not there 45 minutes before the show, you did not get a seat.
Greg, the Utah State Fair is one of the best in the country. We're so glad you're here.
Well, that's part of the reason we drove this far to be out here.
2,200 miles just to make a detour to be at our fair. Everybody, go and see Woody's Barnyard Racers. They're right by the gazebo, smack dab in the middle by the Ferris wheel. We promise you'll have a great time. We don't promise who will win.
No, we don't guarantee that at all. And if you don't have a great time, well, I'm sorry, you missed the boat.
Missed the boat. Karen, thank you. Good job. His wife, Karen, who runs the show. Thank you.
She owns it. I just work for her.
Thanks again to the Utah State Fair for sponsoring this segment. Coming up next.